Well, the only reason why I hesitated is because I think you had kind of given up asking about anything, but now I brought it back to your mind. That's why I hesitated.
Call please, Ken.
President Roger Sager.
Present.
Dana Pierre.
Present.
Ken Otto, present. Greg Eckerly. Present. Kristen Rue.
Present.
Kylie White.
Present.
City Attorney Renee Caver.
Here.
Dana, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dana. Minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve on the minutes.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Claims, Tom?
Page one, the third of the way down, Bridgestone Golf, Pro Shop merchandise, $2,376.28. We'll just walk over to page two here. Up at the top, Prodel, pool concessions. There are other concessions in that as well, $14,193.69, about 12,000 of that is the pool. It's been doing very well, the pool concession stand. On mid-page, Schmidt Contracting, it's an HVAC for the train, $15,950. Down a few lines to Sin Energy, it's that time of year for fuel, $7,375.80. And down Walmart down at the bottom, more pool concessions. $4,602.02, about 3,700 of that is pool concessions.
Thanks, Tom. We would need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Greg's made a motion.
I'll second that.
Ken second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Let's go with Corey, the art board update.
So I am your appointee to the Arts Board. So hello, I'm Corey Eckerly. It is the Arts 50th anniversary this year, so it's a big year for them. The facilities have continued to see more and more people year after year, and just the usage up year after year as well. Currently at the galleries, if you have not been, I highly encourage you to go. There's 3 exhibits. One exhibit is springs, sprockets, pulleys. It's completely interactive. Everything is made with found objects. And so you can push buttons, it can sing, it can talk, you can ride a bike to make it move. It's really cool. The other one that just opened last Thursday is by Kevin Titzer. He gathered everything from the Du Bois County area, and he made this huge, I don't know, 15-20 foot head. And so you can enjoy that. Both of those exhibits, I think, are for sure for a few more months. Also at the gallery space or at the cultural center, there has been Camp Create, and that is for students ages 8 through 12. And it's a week-long camp that they attend, I think like 9 to 3. And that has also seen really great attendance. I taught a class or two, and it's just neat to see the kids who want to be there have a space and a place to create. What else? Oh, I will share with you. The season guide is out. Maybe you received this at home. I don't know. If not, you received one now. Take a look. This would start. All right, I have an extra thing on it. It would start this fall. And so you can see everything that's being brought in. Leanne Rhymes is coming to Jasper, Manny Patinkin, Tom Papa. I mean, there's just a huge array of artists coming to Jasper, which normally you would have to go to a different city to find. So there is tickets that you can get like as a package, or you can get individuals, and all of that's available online as well. And then coming up in the fall is the Beehive Arts Market. All of these are artists who are presenting and sharing. And then there will be a preview night on Friday, October 24th. That's kind of like a fundraiser. And then the next day would be a free, but then you could purchase from the artist. So that's just kind of a quick wrap up from the arts. I did get all of this from Kyle Rupert, the arts director, to kind of make sure I was sharing on the right path with you. So I can try to answer any questions if you have them. If not, I will put on my other hat. This year I am the Strassenfest chairperson, so let me pass around something else. Here is the Strassenfest book for this upcoming fest, July 31st through August 3rd. Again, I have an extra if anyone wants it. And I just really want to thank the parks, not only in cooperating and planning and communication. They bring in so many items for us, picnic tables, just off the top of my head, but the use of the spaces as well. And they make sure these spaces are completely top notch. And all we hear are compliments, which is fantastic for us as the Strassenfest, but also for the city of Jasper as well. Had a pre-meeting a week or two ago with some parks, Tom, Rob, Jay Eckstein, and I think we're full steam ahead. And you guys also host events. You guys host the golf scramble. You guys host the train rides, the use of the Schaefer barn, of the schoolhouse, just all those properties that really makes our festival stand out among many others. So I will take questions on that as well. All I wanted was to share with you guys and to really thank you for everything that you guys helped to facilitate for Jasper.
Great, does a great job with getting the Strassenfest stuff organized here. It's a lot of work to do that. So we work, everybody in the city works well with the Strassenfest committee to get things done. So
Yeah, just try to be as proactive and communicate as much as we can, and always here to try to troubleshoot as much as I can. I was down already on the square earlier talking to somebody about, I mean, it's just nonstop. So yeah. All right, thank you.
Appreciate the arts and appreciate the
Absolutely.
Strassenfest update. Thank you. It's gonna be done for the Strassenfest, it's for the streets, got everything. Most everything.
You heard it here.
that's what we're supposed to.
Good. Heard it there first. Okay, Hudson.
Well, we turned in a record June, which was fantastic. And considering we had a holiday in there and Casey was on vacation for a week, we probably would have hit that April high, but future goals hopefully. But Casey pulled in 230 at water aerobics alone for the month of June. And that was her being off for a week. So I can't wait to see what July does. Plus we had kind of iffy weather at the beginning of June with all the rain. I had 116 in for catered meal. We had a very hot trip to St. Louis on the 26th, but it was good. The bus didn't overheat. We had no problems with that, so we made it. That was my goal. They were in the shade all day, but there was just no air movement. So next year they're all voting to go all inclusive, and I'm like, it'd be easier to herd them out at that point too. The end is rough when you're at St. Louis and you have that many people and they get scattered. It's like, yeah, it gets rough, but we got them all. We didn't leave anybody behind. So I did manage to finally get a phone call back right after I put out the July newsletter from Ellis Park. They've been wanting to go down there for years, but there's been a lot of issues between being bought out and they had closed for some horses that had passed and there was a bunch of stuff, but August 22nd, we're gonna go down there. So I'm gonna put that in the August newsletter. We're gonna have a quick turnaround on signups and money due, but we'll go down there for the races on August 22nd. And other than that, we had an air conditioner go down. Speaking of hot, yeah, it was super hot. It was in the reception area, the card room, kitchen, and that hallway. But so we had to.
I think the first thing we need to do is get a minutes that it was an emergency repair. Right.
But let's get the report behind this and then.
Okay.
That's it. That's the end of the report is that we had the air conditioner go down.
That's
So
so.
that's what I was pleading to that. So, yeah. AC Furniture and Faucet, their quote was $8,894, and then Schmidt Contracting was $9,000. So we went with a little bit with AC to get that replaced, but yeah, it was hot. So I think we have to get approval to have gotten that done.
Except the low bid, we have 2 bids for emergency repair. So do we need to have any declaration of it being an
So
emergency?
the board needs to approve or acknowledge that it was an emergency. And then retroactively approve that low quote.
Okay, so we need a motion to say this was an emergency repair at the Hobby Center. And we accepted the low quote
From AC furnace and faucets.
from AC Furnace and Faucet. That would be the motion.
Make that motion to
David's made the motion.
do that.
I'll second. Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Both the same. Thank you.
And that was it for me.
It is working.
It is working. Really cool through that hallway, but yeah, it happened. And then the banquet room had one. It just needed a tweak or something, but it got fixed, but it was almost 80 in the banquet room for exercise classes one day, but yeah. Yeah, which for them, they're comfortable. So. Some of them.
Beautiful. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Okay, Dana.
We had another record-breaking June as well. So we had a couple different groups come to the schoolhouse. They were pretty small groups, but the schoolhouse was open during the farmers markets. We had good attendance during the weekends when the mill is open, and we had 2 train trips. So we had our first round of these quick trips that we created, trying to just generate interest that families could afford in a shorter trip, much like the Strawson Fest. So we had rides on a Saturday that started at 10, 11:30, and then again at 1. And that brought in 295 people, which we considered for the first time to be a pretty good success. The second set of those rides is actually not this weekend, but next Saturday, and it's looking like it's gonna be doing just as well. So we're happy with that. And then we took a trip to the Bombers game, which was a lot of fun. And they actually had like the Wiener Dog 500. So our patrons got to see the game. They also got to see the fun of these dog races happening throughout the evening. They were really excited about that. So we rounded out the month with 1,858 people in attendance, compared to 1,083 last year. And I had sent out a press release for this weekend's ride, trying to generate a little bit more interest in it for the A League of Their Own night, where we take people on the train to the Bombers and they get to see the Peaches versus Bells. In doing that, just sending my regular monthly press releases out. 14 News caught hold of it. Mike Blake called me and wanted to do a midday with Mike. So I went and we filmed that. Same day that Mike called me, I got a call from Max Parker. And so Max Parker is 14 News's sports director. He is going to live broadcast the train ride as well as both of the games at the stadium, and then ride the train back with us. So that's really exciting, even if it doesn't obviously sell us tickets to that experience. Hopefully it will get the word out for next year and future rides in general. So that is very exciting, I think. So the final thing I have with our kind of tourism things and whatnot, Parklands Prairie Walk tomorrow at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. We are really excited to showcase the burn unit areas that were done last fall and let people see the growth and the new flowers that have generated from that burn. So really excited to have everybody back for that 4th annual event. That's all I have as far as that goes. Any questions?
Lydia Fry, Little Drews again.
Yeah.
Lydia wrote the burn plan for us last year, and they do a great job. They do this all for free. Come and help out and take this tour. It's a couple hours. We've extended it to. The first year was an hour, and we could have gone for 3, I think, but they're very generous with their time to come and help us out with that. You get about 50 people are so.
Yeah.
Coming for that tour, it's well attended and appreciated, so.
Yep.
And I will say, very happy with those family quick trips. Those June trips that we've done on the train, the ride times just have not sold well. And so we geared a couple of these family quick trips around times when there were ball tournaments in town. Because Janessa worked with her and said, hey, you know, when are the tournaments scheduled to be, and let's see if we can match those up. And I think it's worked out really well. Like she said, had what you say, almost 300,
Almost 300.
under 300 people for those 3 trips. So it's pretty exciting.
Last thing I have is that it's been hot and we also need to seek approval for an AC unit for the train depot, and Tom has more information.
So this was almost one of those emergency things, but with the park board meeting being tonight, we were able to get 3 bids. And so we had Schmidt Contracting, $7,814. Mesper Mechanical was $8,000. And Maringer's was $9,875. So we would like to seek approval to go with the low bid from Schmidt Contracting. $7,814, 7814.
Okay, I assume we have this somewhere in the budget.
We did for a train, so we're just gonna shift it from a train to the depot.
Okay, there you go. We would need a motion to accept the Schmidt proposal of $7,814 for an AC unit for the train depot.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion.
I'll second that.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Assume they can get this in fairly quickly.
I think so.
They'll just be happy they're not doing it in the train this year.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you.
Report, David. Kurt, golf shop.
Okay, golf shop, pro shop, we were down a little bit from last year. Pro shop brought in $116,082.97. We were down $5,743.62 from last year. Range, we brought in $11,484. That was down about $1,220 from last year at $12,704. Our grand total for 2024 is now up to $415,276.92. Also, the rounds were down a little bit, between 1 and 3 the last couple weeks. It's just been so hot. Nobody wants to play when it's so hot outside, so that's the only thing I can think of. Also the range, the same thing. If you see out there between 1 and 3, it's just nobody wants to hit balls when it's 100 degrees outside. So other than that, between 7 and 12, it's packed, and between 3 and 6:30, it's packed. So other than that, I really don't think the rounds are really that bad in my opinion, but that's just how I feel. If you look below, the small buckets, large buckets, we're over 3,000 for large buckets for the year, and over 2,000 already for the small buckets for the year. Is there any questions about the report? So far, 2,000, or for the month of June, we're down $6,963.62 for the month of June. And I asked the board if we could have permission to purchase sod, and Rob would have more information. We have 2 bids for that for the back 9.
Yeah, you see in the packet, you've got 2 different pricings. One is per square foot installed, and the second is per square foot just buying, that's installed. We're gonna do it 2 different ways. The last week of the month, we'll have around 20,000 square feet for a little over 13,000. And then we're gonna buy some sod ourselves and strip it in some areas so we don't do big areas on it. So we're still working with the sod farm to see how much we can get, but they promised us about $17,500 worth of sod so far. So if we can get a little bit more, we will. Right now, I'd like to get a little bit shank. We are at 77.5 cents per square foot, and Grassmasters at 90 cents per square foot installed. And then installed with 66 and 67, so I can get a good shank provided. But it's good, couldn't submit it, so.
So what you're wanting approval for is to purchase $25,000 worth of sod
Up to
at this 77 cents or 66 cents. And before we do that, is the 66 cents, is there some type of warranty or guarantee, or you put it down?
No, we
You
put
take
it
the
down.
risk.
We've done it in the past, both ways, really have had success each way doing it. It's all on us to prepare the ground, so. Just, go by experience and know how to do it, and yeah.
Do you get a warranty on the 77 cents?
No, because we've had some kill in the last year, we've already talked about it, didn't get on to, so.
So neither way, you get a warranty. Okay, so we would need that in a motion.
It was in the budget.
Yes, I was part of the background group.
I make a motion to approve the sod, pricing from a Shank Sod Farm.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? And again, that's up to $25,000.
We get as much as we can. I don't know that they're gonna be able to provide us that much, but we'll get close. We'll get to 18 or 20. I hope. Or at least guaranteed 17. We're trying to get a little bit more of that. It's just that everybody's asking for sod as far as if they allow them to kill this year. A lot of golf courses are looking for it. Just lucky to have that relationship with them, but get some, so.
I take it this will be done in the next 5, 6, 7 weeks.
By the end of July. Yeah, we got it scheduled for last 23rd, I think, so a couple weeks, yeah, gotta get down when it's hot.
That's good, that one's hot.
Yep. Get better.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carries. So we're off report.
Thanks, sir.
Rob, anything on your end?
That's it for me.
Okay, that's it for you. Parks update?
Parks updates, got a few things here, concrete was poured at, Bonner Park, for a handicap accessible picnic table by the shelter. We had a hickory tree fall and land on the swing set at Parker Park, and the guys get that, picked up and cleaned up. Kind of destroyed the swing set, but, we'll look what options we have there. Sand volleyball court is being worked on now. Their youth leadership council has, been working on that. Got to the point where they got the tile put in, help get it drained, but, the rock should be getting delivered as we speak, I think. It's there now, okay. So, and then, Dana said the, Parkland's Prairie Walk is tomorrow evening. And 6:30 to 8:30 at the youth sports complex. Things are going great out there as normal. If you recall last year at this time, we were having some issues with parking. People parking the grass and stuff, the rocks, the big boulders that we put, the rock really helped out and controlled that. And of course, Myron does a tremendous job out there, keeping everything tidy. And just moving along nicely with that. So that is your parks update for now. And next on there, I have, seek permission to accept donations, advance, sports supply. Provided us with 2 rolls of poly fence cap. Roughly about $600 for it. So, we just need approval, to accept that as a donation.
Do we need that as a motion?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion.
I'll second that.
I'll make a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carries.
And then finally on the list, 2026, budget items, we're keeping things down this year. Trying to look at basically maintenance items. This list does include the Hobby Center parking lot again. It was on 2025's budget. It's sort of right in two budgets right now. So we discussed this with the clerk treasurer's office and with mayor. And we're going to get an estimate on it. Chad Hearn, city engineers, working on getting an estimate, see where we need to be, and if we can, the city provide half the funds for budgeted funds for the parking lot. And then we can have other funds for the rest of it. We can go forward with this. This will come off of next year's budget. Like Carrie said, she had 116 at catered meal. We have, what are we up to 88 parking spots now? So we're overflowing. So that's that one could come off of there if we get that done this year. Again, Chad's looking into that. Pool chemicals, basically I'm putting this on the list to let you know this has gone up quite a bit. As Janessa will show in her pool report, our number of bathers have quadrupled, which is a great thing, but your chemical usage does go up when that happens. Plus we have less water. More bodies affect that water and the chemical change, temperature, also with the features that we have, a lot more spraying features, 3 slide instead of 1 slide. We have ground features, things like that, all take into account chemical usage. So that will go up pretty dramatically. Golf course greens mower, this is to replace a 20-year-old mower. The golf courses, first thing you need to make sure is that your greens are secure and looking good and in good shape, and that's helpful to do that. We're doing this again with the back nine fairway improvements, just like we did this year. The $25,000 in for sod, replace the Bermuda with zoysia. I think what we may do next year is start that, ask you all in January to seek permission to start getting that so we can get our name on some sod sooner. This is the time of year when you lay it down, but everybody had the same problem, as Rob said, that we did this year with the golf course, Bermuda dying off. So we may start that process a little earlier next year. We have also on here a park maintenance truck. We're talking about how we might work around that or what we need to do with that. We have 2 trucks that are over 20 years old. They're not going to get any younger next year. So we're still talking through how we might work through that. And the Riverwalk bridges, we have 1 bridge that we'd like to do again. This year, we're going to work on 1. Next year, we'd like to do another one. It's just that's maintenance thing. So all in all, we're down quite a bit from what we had asked for last year. Let's say it's a few $100,000 from what we asked for last year. So we're trying to do our part at this time where cut back the best we can.
Anybody have any, well, we need a motion that we can have a discussion.
I think it's more for just information and make sure that you guys are good with this. If there's anything that you saw that, again, we're kind of in this maintenance thing right now versus new projects. So
we need to move the train, air conditioning thing over to this next year budget, and so you had to take that off.
we did the one that we absolutely had to do, got replaced. The other 2 we were going to, but we'll just kick the can down the road another year. They'll be fine, I think, but we're just gonna try to get it up the curve this year.
You mentioned we're down a few $100,000. Is there a percentage that you have on hand?
That we're shooting for, or that we're down. I do not off the top of my head know what that percentage is, but compared to last year, I think we were at 800 and some thousand last year. So
It's getting up to 8-10%.
So we don't need a motion to accept this, even though it says we didn't.
That's not right.
Okay. Any other questions on the budget items, major budget items? If not, we will move on to Janessa.
Um, rentable facilities report, both are in, your packet, the rentable facilities and the dog park, per usual. Parkland, Hobby Center, holding steady with high, rentals, the depot year to year goes down because we start train rides, so we don't rent the depot, on days we have rides. So pretty standard when it comes to those reports. We only had one new dog pass member, in July, which is pretty standard if you look year to year, so nothing too crazy or extravagant with those two reports. Questions? Next on my list is the pool report, it's in your packet. If you build it, they will come. Um, it's, amazing, it's insane, it's, every emotion possible, so just, if you just look down, it's May through June, which is what we've always done in the years past for this report, combining those two since opening weekends, Memorial Weekend, instead of doing one report for May, combine the two. You can just see all the numbers, I mean, concessions alone, $41,000, it's, we can't keep up. Did just recently increase prices on July 1st. We wanted the place to be affordable, but we also have to, be mindful of different things. Pizzas is a very hot topic, hot seller, buying those weekly, so try to slow down that a little bit. So we did increase some prices. Not everything went up, but some things. But if I'm being honest, I don't really think it slowed anything down. So I'm anxious to see July's report. Staff is doing great. The products are great. And individual season passes, we did start those in April. I know this says May through June, but I didn't really feel the necessity to put April in there because we sold them in the office ahead of time to try to pre-sell some, just slow down the pace. We did finally cut it off, just at the end of June, so 357 passes, and the pass entries, how many times it's been used. So we do program that so we can keep track of that. But overall, too, total number of swimmers, that's not to date, that's just May through June, 16,000 versus 4,500 in 2023. So. It's going well.
I would say, I went back and I looked at annual reports, and I went back to 1974 to find the best year that we had in that whole time. A lot of annual reports to go through. And most swimmers we've had in a season was 22,892 swimmers. And as of today, it's not on here, but we're up and over 19,000 for the year. So we'll easily soar past that.
We've got Twilight Swim coming up tomorrow. Those have been highly attended. We had 2 weeks ago, over 400 people just for Twilight, which was amazing. So we have 2 Twilights left, this one, and then, July 23rd, is our final Twilight. So those are great. We had to stop taking pool parties, because everybody wanted to do it, and I don't have staff to house all of that, so we did have to cut those off, but which is a good problem. So it's just, I mean, people are happy, which is great, and they keep, we've had Paoli people coming, quite a few, been seeing a lot of Paolis. This family from Chrisney was there today. The reason I know that's because they were wearing shirts that said Chrisney Elementary. But they're coming from all over the place, which is nice. It's good to see. Heard a couple people mention that they're probably not gonna renew their Holiday World Pass next year. So I mean, it's nice to hear and see. So.
And labor, in 23 as we did in 25.
as far as staff?
Yeah.
Daily?
Yeah.
I mean, just your hours in general, like what we're paying out, like,
I mean, if I asked you to come up with, most people have to, if you own a business, share your budget. You break even, come close to breaking even,
No, we did,
anybody know?
we did 75,000 total revenue in 23. And maybe our expenses were somewhere around 150,000 in 23. So, our labor rates were predicated off of what we did in 25. But we're having to add a few more concession stand workers, and knowing that, we kind of buffered a little bit.
In guards?
So we've got a little more labor involved in it now than what we did before. But I mean, that's still a fluid situation where we're adding, getting a guard up and on a platform that we didn't think we would need to have, you know, you got more people in concession stand because you don't know, you need somebody cooking while somebody's doing this. So we're kind of massaging that as we go.
So, I mean, I saw 60,000 extra for chemicals. Is there any other?
That labor's gonna be a little more, but I mean, it won't be dramatic. Yeah. But the chemicals is a big thing. We're not losing 40,000 gallons of water a day, though. That's good news.
So what would, I mean, if you did an income statement on the pool, what is it?
Right now, I don't know. I
Expect ready, yeah, it's coming, we'll see it, but
You know, that's good.
we won't ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just beginning, with what we budgeted for labor wise, we're taking a step in the dark to guess where we're gonna be.
It's hard to, very hard to kind of put a number on this, we're buying things that we think we need that we're gonna have. Yeah, we won't be buying next year, there's just things that are involved and over and up that you don't even realize you need until you figure out you need it. You don't always have to buy it, but it's gonna be there, it shouldn't have to be at a real expense. So this year is gonna be a bigger number to where it should calm down a little bit next year, some of that stuff. So.
We got a lot of that FF&E in there, yeah, wrapped into that number too, so that'll be a little skewed, yeah. But I do want to say, and I say this, I've said this at every meeting that I've been in, I will continue to say it, that, I mean, Janessa has been crushing it with the pool and all of her activities that she has. And Jay, same thing, and Charlie, thank God we've had him hired as well. But it's not just them, it's everybody in the park department that has chipped in to help out. I mean, if she can't do other things, everybody else has got her back and fill them in. I mean, I cannot be more pleased with our department, what teamwork that everybody has shown, and it's every single person in this department has chipped in and done something. If you didn't do it directly for the pool, you were doing it for somebody who's working it. So, hats off to everybody in our department.
No, I agree. I told my brothers at lunch that the other day that I could not believe what goes into running that swimming pool. We were there for an hour and a half or 2 hours and you have people running everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're playing with hundreds of kids' lives every day. And then, oh, by the way, they are taking people out of the pool daily.
Yeah.
It's a thing, we have a slump.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's,
And these kids, and they are kids, they have fun, but they take it serious, they take their job serious. And we've got a great crew there too, we're very fortunate to have the kids we do. So,
A+ to you guys building it, supporting it, running it, and maintaining it. So,
yeah,
thank you for Joe.
they do a great job.
With that said, seeking permission to hire another lifeguard, please.
Need a motion?
I'll make that a motion.
We have a motion.
I'll second it.
We have a second.
Thanks.
Further discussion? All those in favor, aye. Both the same. And
Thank you, that's all I got.
great report.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jess.
Good job, guys.
Renee, Tom. The other older business.
I do just want to let you guys know, because it's been advertised. as of June 26th. Sorry, as of June 26th, we advertised for the sale of the Camp Torrance property, so we are accepting bids on that property now, so if you saw it in the paper or hear it, we're accepting bids through July 26th, but we can extend that deadline through August 25th if we need to, so that is underway. And if you've noticed, we have a new agenda. We are now legally required to include the names and appointing authorities of every member on all of the boards, so that information is on our agendas. It has to be on our notices and on our website, so that's why we have a new agenda. And that's all I have.
Do we have any bids for campers yet?
We do not have any bids for anything other than the property that is immediately adjacent to Idlewild, which they bid on, and we knew that was coming. So,
Along those lines, is someone actively working on updating the website as pertains to the Parks Department? I feel like somebody was working on that. Trying that where we have, pictures of the park, but
Summer's just not a good time there.
huh?
I said, I'm working on it, but summer's just hard. With only being me at the center and then trying to get newsletters and everything else done, I'm trying to update it, but I mean, it's as updated minus Beeler Park. That's the only thing I don't have yet.
Gary's been one of those people that we talked about that has been big on the ball and run with it. For Janessa and everything else, so I mean, all those rentals and everything, she's
Yeah.
picked up on that too, so.
Yeah.
They will be properties.
Okay, any other old or new business? If not, we would need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion,
I'll second.
we have a second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
That's what they're saying.